How to avoid fear and disappointment when tinnitus comes back. As you start working on yourself with tinnitus and tending to your internal world and starting to get more of a sense of well-being, so maybe you've got craniosacral therapy, or you're taking out body-based practices that promote well-being and help you release and let go, you can expect your tinnitus to back off. And I've experienced many times with people that they start getting better and their tinnitus goes away completely or it goes really quiet. And then they get into a state of fear thinking, oh my God, what happens when it comes back? What if it comes back? And people dread that and feel very afraid of that. And therefore, because of this reaction, it activates the nervous system and kind of helps bring it back in a way. So the first thing to say is that working on yourself, you can expect your tinnitus to drop down, and it may come up again, but it drops down. If you carry on working on yourself, then you can expect the up and downs overall to get better. So this is high tinnitus, and over a period of time, it gradually gets better and better. But along the way, you get lots of ups and downs. So when it ramps up and you have a little spike, you really react to that as if it's the end of the world, and your mind may catastrophize. But if you step back and look at the whole picture overall, it may well be getting much better. As a therapist, I always write down exactly the words people use to describe their tinnitus. And very often when they come into therapy, I say, well, it's not all that bad because in the last 2 sessions you said this and you said this, and my sense is that it is getting a bit better or getting a lot better. So when we're in that space where we're looking out and thinking, oh my God, is it going to come back? And dreading that or feeling fearful about that, the classic thing to do is, instead of stewing in this activating, fearful state, that's the time to practice, to do all your body-based practices. So if you've been learning yoga and Tai Chi, that's the time to just have a good hour of practice. If you can get out of your fearful thinking and get into letting go and releasing the body, so you change channel out of thinking mode and freaking out, catastrophizing mode, into feeling the body and hanging out inside the reality of your immediate experience. If you can do this for quite a long time, so half an hour to an hour, you will find that all the Twitter up here stops and you get back in touch with your immediate body-based reality. This is an incredibly helpful way of dealing with the mental fear, which is what we're talking about here. So please know that you can step out of this fearful way of thinking, which can trigger a cascade adrenal fear response. You can step out of it very immediately by reconnecting with the body. Keep coming back to that. And if you are really overwhelmed or fearful, then you can organize a Skype session with me, or go and see your craniosacral therapist, or go and do more Tai Chi or yoga practice. You will need to depend on these resources at the beginning, like a stabilizer learning to ride a bike, because once you've got those stabilizers in place, these resources, these body-based practices in place, then you can just cycle off into the sunset and you can expect your nervous system to settle. So please don't freak out. Notice when you are freaking out and then take positive action. If you can, step back and have a more long-term view of your tinnitus. Don't get hung up too much on the little daily spikes, up and downs, and use your practice to unstick your mind from all of this. Your body-based awareness will be the way that you can literally unattach yourself from these negative thought patterns which don't do you any good.